In the past, Tahlequah has been on a heartbreaking journey to mourn her dead calf. Fortunately, she's now pregnant again, and so this has brought new hope to her pod, underlining the importance of 2018 Tahlequah, the orca that resonated with people around the world. After she was reported carrying the corpse of her dead calf for over 2 weeks, Tahlequah had given birth to a calf on July 24th, who died just a half hour after being born. Tahlequah was relentless in their efforts and stayed beneath the body, preventing it from sinking. The Tahlequah did this for over 700 hours. The researchers who have been studying her since then confirm that she has since rebounded from her tragic ordeal. The story of her emotional journey, swimming 1,000 miles after the loss of her baby, has been widely shared and left an indelible mark on people's memories. But now, 2 years later, Tahlequah is pregnant again. Yet for some, the question remains whether this new calf will survive. On July 24th, 2018, researchers studying the 3 separate pods of orcas that inhabit the waters around the Puget Sound in Washington state were shocked to learn that the newborn calf of an orca named Tahlequah had died. Nonetheless, the mother carried her stillborn for 17 days while on her extensive migratory route in a show of tremendous grief. However, 2 weeks later, on August 11th, the Center for Whale Research, CWR, confirmed that Tahlequah, also known as J35, was no longer carrying her baby. The mother orca had finally let go of her dead calf, leaving it to sink to the bottom of the Salish Sea near Vancouver. Her tour of grief is now over and her behavior is remarkably frisky. A CWR statement about Tahlequah's progress read: Tahlequah, part of the J-pod, one of the 3 groups of endangered southern resident killer whales that are frequently spotted between northern Washington and Vancouver, Canada. The pods have struggled with infant calf mortality over the past 2 decades, likely because of malnourishment, as 75% of their newborns died shortly after birth. Moreover, 100% of the pregnancies that occurred between 2015 and 2018 among the pods had failed to produce viable offspring. Given the whale's extreme reproductive problems, the birth of Tahlequah's calf was a momentous occasion, but that joy quickly evaporated when that calf was stillborn. The only thing keeping it from sinking to the ocean's depths was its mother supporting it with her forehead and pushing it up to the surface. According to Jenny Atkinson, the executive director of the Whale Museum on San Juan Island, it is not uncommon for a killer whale to carry around their dead calf in grief for a day or 2, but Tahlequah was different. She carried this for 17 months before it was born, Atkinson told Here and Now, and we know that it swam by her side. So, there would have been a bonding, a birthing experience.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
So there is a part of me that believes that the grief could be much deeper because they had bonded. The CWR reported that Tahlequah appeared to have bounced back relatively quickly after releasing her stillborn. In addition to showing an improved mood, she seemed to be in good physical condition and didn't appear to be suffering from peanut head, a condition which an orca's cranium bones begin to show after becoming malnourished. Even though Tahlequah seems to be doing much better following her grieving period, scientists remain concerned about the rest of her pod. As of July 2020, the total number of whales left in the southern resident killer whale population was just 72. On top of that, other members of the J-pod were showing signs of struggling health. Scarlet, or J50, showed signs of malnourishment just a few days after Tahlequah's calf died. Researchers were unsure of the cause, but were feeding her salmon in order to get her back on track. A lack of food in the pod's environment has been linked to their inability to produce viable offspring over the last few years. Indeed, about 2/3 of all whale pregnancies among the population have been unsuccessful. Just like Cuban fishermen that don't just go drop a hook in the ocean, said scientist John Durbin, one of the researchers who've been following the pod's progress over the last few years. They have their favorite places. They are amazing societies that pass culture down from generation to generation. They are creatures of habit. However, with the frequent passing of boaters, commercial ships, and fishing boats around the area, it has become difficult for the whales to feed. Busy boating activities have been known to disrupt the whales' hunting due to the roaring engines, which distort their ability to sense food underwater. In the summer of 2020, scientists John Durbin and Holly Fehrenbach are recording the pod's activities via drone imaging. When they examined the pictures, it was clear that there were a number of female members of the JK and L pods that were expecting. Among them was Tahlequah. Orcas typically have an average gestation period of about 18 months, and the families usually stay together for life. Although it was unclear how far along Tahlequah was, the scientists suspected that she was still in the early stages of her pregnancy. If her calf survives the birth, it would be the third orca calf joining the whale community around Puget Sound over the last 2 years. However, there is a big concern that the calf might not make it, since most of the pregnancies among the southern whales have not been successful. We are concerned if she has a calf, will she be able to look after herself and the calf and J47 too? Said Durbin, referring to Tahlequah's older calf that was born before the one she had lost in 2018. There has been a lot of talk. I'm not sure a lot has changed for the whales. There is a way for local residents to help increase the chances for the baby orca's successful birth. The biggest one being that they provide the pods with enough space to hunt. Studies by our colleagues at the University of Washington have shown that these reproductive failures are linked to nutrition and access to their Chinook salmon prey. An online release published by SR3, a marine animal rescue and conservation nonprofit, stated. So we hope folks on the water can give the southern residents plenty of space to forage at this important time.